watching the Packers Report. I am your host, Joey Petersen. Welcome into the show, everybody. So happy to have you with us. On today's show, I'm going to give my 53-man roster projection after the NFL draft, after the UDFA signings, and we're going to guess who's going to make the final 53-man roster when roster cutdown day happens after the 2025 preseason. We got a long way to get there, but I am excited. As we sit right now, Green Bay currently has $32.08 million in cap space, which is the 11th most in the National Football League. So if they haven't yet, you could still expect them to possibly make another move or two. They've got a good bit of money left. They drafted 8 players in the 2025 NFL Draft. They signed 9 undrafted free agents. So that's 17 newbies, 17 rookies that will be fighting for those coveted roster spots. If you missed it, the draft was a ton of fun. We had it covered right here. Matthew Gold was first-round selection, breaking the streak from 2002 of longest time without drafting wide receiver in the first round. Then Anthony Belton was a second-round selection. Savion Williams the third. Baron Sorrell, my favorite selection, edge rush out of Texas in the fourth. Colin Oliver, the athletic linebacker out of Oklahoma State. Warren Brinson, just the consistent defensive tackle out of Georgia. Bit of a head-scratcher in round 7. Micah Robinson, the cornerback out of Tulane. Wasn't on a lot of people's draft boards, mine included. I'm not alone. Mel Kiper as well. And then John Williams, the offensive tackle out of Cincinnati to round it out. Make sure you guys hit me up, okay? Because if you are pumped for the Packers 2025 NFL season, we've got you covered, and I've got you covered right over there on X or Twitter. You can follow me at Joey Petersen8. Make sure you spell Petersen, S-E-N, because if it's S-O-N, it's not going to be your boy. You'll be able to find my link to my Twitter in the comments and description of today's video as well. Hit me up. First 10 followers, I'll follow you back. All right, let's start with the quarterback position. It's going to take up 2 spots. No surprises here. Jordan Love, QB1, Malik Willis, QB2. I'm incredibly excited for this season for Jordan Love. It was obvious. He was battling injuries for the entirety of 2024, and he was never himself, okay? And even though he still wasn't himself, he gave us a ton of great moments. I think he didn't have a lot of help in the wide receiver room. This team had 33 drops in 17 games, 18 games, and so now adding a new wide receiver 1 in Matthew Golden, him being fully healthy, knock on wood, I'm so excited to see what Jay Love's going to be able to do this next year. Let's go to the running back room. This one is a shocker, okay? I'm getting spicy here. Josh Jacobs, Emanuel Wilson, give me Amar Johnson to take up the 3rd running back spot. Who's Amar Johnson, you ask? Well, he's an undrafted free agent, running back out of South Dakota State. 193 carries, 1,223 yards, 14 touchdowns, and 44 yards was his longest. I got a good feeling about this kid, okay? I think he's going to come in Green Bay. I think he's going to impress. And I think what's going to put him above the fold is the fact that he's been so consistently healthy throughout the entirety of his college career, okay? Not only that, but he's been able to produce as well. I think he comes in, shocks a lot of people, impresses a lot of people, and snags the last running back spot on the 53-man roster. Let's go to wide receiver. A room that's a little bit busier than I think a lot of people anticipated it to be with the drafting of Matthew Gold and Savion Williams. Both of those guys get a roster spot, obviously, as well as Dontavian Wicks, Romeo Doubs, Jaden Reed. I had Mecole Hardman actually taking the final spot on that wide receiver room because of his ability in the special teams. And I think when they signed him free agency, that was going to be one of the biggest reasons why. Christian Watson will start the 2025 NFL season on the PUP list. When he comes back from that, expect Mecole Hardman to shift possibly to a practice squad role. I think he's going to be on the PUP list for a while, though. I think we're looking at maybe late November, and that kind of feels like if we're lucky. Anytime you tear your ACL in January, I don't think it's going to be smart to rush you back at all, okay? So I wouldn't mind waiting to November. I really like Christian Watson. I'm really, really excited about what he'll be able to do when he doesn't have the pressure of being a wide receiver 1. And I think if he could stay healthy, he could be an absolute stud. So just make sure that he's healthy. Who makes it, though? That last wide receiver spot, is it Mecole Hardman? Is it Bo Melton or Malik Heath? If you think it's Hardman, type 1 for me in the comments. If you think it's Bo Melton, give me a 2 in the comments section. And if you think it's Malik Heath, go ahead, Give me a 3 down below. Let's go to the big boys now with our tight ends. Tucker Kraft, Luke Musgrave, Ben Sims, and John Fitzpatrick. I'm really, really confident about this room. I'm really, really confident about Tucker Kraft. And what I'm really excited to see is you'll hear me talk a lot about what this might mean because of the addition of Matthew Golden. I think the addition of Matthew Golden is only going to help every single other player in this offense. That's Josh Jacobs included, right? Before you played the Packers without Matthew Golden, you didn't really have to worry about a ton of wide receivers. So you could kind of, cover everything evenly. Maybe stack the box a little bit more for Josh Jacobs because this team ran the ball so much. I think Matthew Golden is going to garner some attention, leaving Tucker Kraft a little bit more open, Josh Jacobs as well, and then, of course, the backups with Luke Musgraves and Ben Sims. Let's round out the offense with the offensive line. As of right now, it is a really, really crowded room. I think there's about 17 pass blockers in it right now. I think they take 10 into the regular season. Rasheed Walker, Aaron Banks, Elgin Jenkins, Sean Ryan, and Zach Tom. That's going to be your starting 5 from left to right. Jordan Morgan, if he, performs well enough up to the first-round talent that he was drafted at 2 years ago or last year, he can make a spot to, start in that right guard spot. Anthony Belton, the second overall pick or second-round pick out of North Carolina State, and then Jacob Monk and John Williams. Also, a bubble player to look out for is Travis Glover. Make sure you hit that like button, okay? If you're confident in this offensive roster, I think they're going to be phenomenal. I think this is the most well-rounded team that Jordan Love has ever had. I got all the confidence in the world in them, and if you do as well, make sure to show me by hitting that thumbs up button. Over to the defense we go. Kenny Clark, Devontae Wyatt, Warren Brinson, Colby Wooden, and Carl Brooks. They are the defensive tackles on this squad. I'm really excited to see what Warren Brinson's going to be able to bring, okay? Because he was just such a consistent player at Georgia through his time there. And I'm always really confident in drafting a Georgia defensive tackle. Being coached by Kirby Smart in that winning culture at Georgia, they built something really, really special. And if there's one thing we know about Georgia defensive linemen in the NFL, they tend to work out pretty well. Let's go to the edges, okay, of that defensive line, the edge rushers. Lucas Van Ness, Rashawn Gary, Kingsley Enagbari, Britton Cox, Barron Sorrell, and Colin Oliver. I'm really excited about the addition of Barron Sorrell, like I've talked a ton about. And I think the addition of him is only going to help everybody else. And I also think just another year under their belts for Rashawn Gary, for Lucas Van Ness especially, Kingsley Enagbari. I'm going to need them all to take a massive step up. Because that was the biggest need, in my opinion, was edge rusher, finding someone to get to the passer consistently. They didn't necessarily address that super early in the NFL draft, but they did with Sorrell. I'm happy about it. But these guys are going to have to take a step up for themselves as well. Sound off in the comment section for me. Which of those guys are you most confident in? Is it Enagbari? Is it Lucas Van Ness? I'm really excited about the jump that he's going to take from this year to the next. But regardless of excitement, I want to hear which one of those guys you're most confident in. Which of those guys do you see having the best year, having the best season, and wreaking the most havoc on the defensive line? Let me know your answer down below. Let's go to linebackers. Quay Walker, Isaiah McDuffie, recently got a bag a couple months ago. Edgerrin Cooper, Tyron Hopper, and Isaiah Simmons, the most recently added Packer earlier this past week. He rounds out with the 40th spot on this roster, the last of the linebackers. He's one of those guys that's kind of going to be more used as, put anywhere in different places. He's going to probably be used more in special teams than out there actually on the defense. But still, he takes the last spot. This group doesn't look all that different from this past year. Let's go to the cornerback room. It's getting spicy because I got Jair Alexander making the roster. The report from Rob Demovsky, as of the time of this recording, has me really confident about him and coming back. So give him to me at that CB1 spot. Keyshawn Nixon at the 2, Nate Hobbs in that nickel position, and then Carrington Valentine, Kamal Haddon. I think Haddon's going to take a big step up, a big jump up, and go into this next year as just a really solid depth piece. The safety room, easily the room I'm most confident in. All starts with Xavier McKinney. So excited to see how he backs up last year. Javon Buller as well, then Evan Williams, Zane Anderson, and Katan Oladapo. When he got to play last year at the end of the season, he actually played really, really well. Excited to see what he'll do in 2025. The specialty group is how we'll round this one out from 51 to 53. McManus, Daniel, and Matt Orzek, they round out as the kicker, punter, and long snapper for your Green Bay Packers, and that fills all 53 spots. Let's hear it. Get down in the comment section. Grade this roster. Give it an A, B, C, D, or F. As it stands right now, this is my 53-man projection. Grade it for me in the comment section. Make sure you guys subscribe before you get on out of here. We bring you every single day coverage of your Green Bay Packers. So join us today by hitting that sub button.